It's been a while. Actually, so much stuff has happened and it's pretty crazy. So I've recorded many versions of this. I recorded a version of it just a few days ago when I was at the beach because I'm at the Gold Coast right now and it's known for its beautiful beaches. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna record a vlog and it's gonna be so beautiful in the background because I love water, you know. But then it didn't save properly and now I'm re-recording it. I feel like I need to fulfill my obligation, but there's just so much. So it's been a few months, but on top of that, it's been a full year. It's been more than a year actually since I've come to Australia for the first time. I moved here back in April. April 1st was when I flew here. It wasn't an April Fool's joke, although my purple wig back then was. Like even just the other day, I was like walking at the animal sanctuary because I wanted to cuddle a koala, which I did because it's illegal in New South Wales. Sorry, I'm so excited I can't even talk. But it's not illegal in Queensland. Actually, there are very few states in Australia where it's not illegal to hug and cuddle a koala. I was just walking around and I was like, I live in Australia. Talk about delayed reactions. It was like re-hitting me. Yeah, just reflecting back on my 1 year here. Oh my gosh, I've learned so much. Also, just like a side note, I like saw some wild kangaroos like in the yard out there. Recently, I was like reflecting on, you know, what I'm learning and more than ever before, I'm just learning to not just get through tough times, whether it's like stress at work, stress with like coworkers or relationships or family, uncertainty about the future, quarter life crises, like what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Like when you are trying to, you know, do your best and try your best to do something, but then your efforts fail or things don't go the way that you want. Like even today I was giving a presentation. I was like excited to give the presentation in front of 80 people, but then I also was just, there was too much adrenaline, I think, and I just completely, I was like, what am I saying? I don't know. And I just like froze, like the worst possible scenario, you know? Oh gosh. And yeah, I'm still a little bit triggered, to be honest. That's just a small example, but there is so many things, even like mental health and spiritual well-being and finding time for myself and for other people and for work and just like try to balance all this stuff. Sometimes it does feel quite challenging, to say the least. I hope some of you guys can relate. Like sometimes you just go through hard things and you're like, why is it so difficult? Why? This just sucks, you know? And I've said this in previous vlogs too, like mentally I'm like, yeah, you'll get through it and it'll make you better. Just keep going, you know? God has been stretching that even further and saying like, this challenge isn't just something to get through, it's actually something to embrace and welcome and be like, yay, like hardship, yay, I'm going to grow from it. It's like taking it even a step further. And I've never really gotten to experience that to this extent. Like my church here in Sydney, we were talking about Romans. We've been going through a Roman series. Paul mentions like going through hardship helps build up your endurance and it builds up your character and all that. The message of that sermon, and not just that sermon, but like I've been hearing this from God, like from different conversations, from different sermons and videos, and I don't even know how to explain it, but I just feel like God has been focusing my attention on this theme of, yes, like it's hard, but actually God knows exactly what he's doing. Like it's easy for us to feel like, oh my gosh, he's neglecting us, or like, what are you doing? Like, this sucks, just take me out of it. But when you look at like learning to swim, like sometimes you just have to go in the deep end in order to learn to swim. If you're always on the shallow end, you're never gonna properly know how to swim because you will never be forced in those situations where you have to. Yeah, I think just embracing hardship as a workout and being like, oh my gosh, like I need it to be challenging in order to grow. So I feel like God has just been kind of like changing my perspective on that, and it's been really liberating, to be honest. Like not seeing hardship as like something I have to like be bogged down by or burdened by, or something that's like preventing me from something, but actually something that's empowering me and enabling me to be prepared for whatever's next. I really highly recommend this video of TD Jakes and Stephen Furtick. If you guys don't know them, they're like really well-known pastors. They had this 2-hour long conversation. You can watch it on 2x speed on YouTube, which is what I did. But they're talking about crushing and like everyone that you see they're successful or they've been elevated or promoted, they've all gone through hardship. Like, there's no exception. And oftentimes we're like, we don't know what we're doing. We're such a mess. Everyone else knows. But to be honest, nobody knows. Everybody is human, and every single human being is just doing the best they can, figuring it out as they go. Oftentimes I'm like, can it just hurry up? Like hurry up baking. Like, I want to eat it already, but you have to let it like fully bake. Whatever it is, a brownie, a quiche. I don't know. I've never made a quiche, but you just have to make sure that it has the time it requires in order to be ready, so that the glory afterwards is so much more what it's meant to be. You don't want to eat a soggy, like unbaked brownie. Do you? I don't know. I've never tried. Actually, that sounds a little bit good. That's a bad example. But anyway, and another thing, I think throughout the whole year of being here, just seeing this alternate lifestyle, I guess, outside of the Silicon Valley, of just embracing life as much more than work. Like, life is not just about work. Oftentimes, when you're stuck in a bubble of high achieving people, very fast paced environment, people who just want to like do really well, and that all comes from a good place, a good motivation of wanting to do well and be excellent at what you do, which is great. But I think just for me personally, like, I didn't even realize until I came here and I started to see like, oh wow, like people really actually value life outside of work, and they don't right away ask you what you do. Like, that's not part of your identity, as much as it is in the Bay Area where I'm from. I feel like God just like had to pluck me out of that environment to give me that perspective that I've gained now. I feel much more than I had ever had before, of my identity is not what I do. It's not even what I do in ministry. It's not what I am. Like what I do is not who I am, basically. I think oftentimes then we're like, then who am I? Like, if I'm not what I do, where's my value? I have to be able to give value to people in order to have value, For me, like, helping people and being like the strong person for a lot of people, and I love to support people, and that's a really huge part of who I am. But at the end of the day, I feel like God really just convicted me here, just like showing me like, your identity is not supposed to be in other people depending on you for things, So I feel like that's been also very humbling, because it's made me realize, wow, I actually do need people and I do need help. There's so many weaknesses that I have that I wouldn't have been able to face or even like admit if I didn't come here and I wasn't like independent by myself, and ironically, I feel like that independence has revealed to me my need for other people and community and people to build me up and encourage me, So with that said, I just want to thank you for whoever is watching, whoever sends me messages and supports me. Even though I'm really bad at keeping up with people, I'm just so thankful to have a support network and to have people praying for me and encouraging me. If you could just help pray that I would continue to surrender everything in my life, whether it's my future or my identity or like needing things to go my way. I feel like God is just really challenging me to just let it all go and see all these challenges and all these things as freeing me from things that shouldn't be chaining me down in the first place. I'm really excited. It's also really hard and difficult at times. There are moments when I feel so lost and so confused, but I'm really glad and thankful for people in my life who have been supporting me, and also especially just God, just His love. It's constant and it's steadfast, and He never gives up on us. And I'm learning not to just like look in the future and have hope for the future, that I will look back on this one day and be thankful for it, but even now to be thankful for it, because even difficulties like waiting for things to happen, it's like teaching me a lot of patience and a lot of trust in God's timing. And even today, like giving that presentation and totally messing up, I feel like it's also liberating me from, I don't need approval from other people. I don't need people to like me or even respect me. That's not where my value comes from, just being confident in who I am, regardless of what happens or regardless of how bright my hair turned out. That's just a little glimpse into what's been happening, and thank you so much again for tuning in, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.